So tell me what happened in September.
So it's September 28th. We were all hanging out for a couple of hours.
Where?
This is up in Palmdale, just off 49th Street, at a friend.
Where were you? At a friend?
Yeah, it was one of the friends that we were hanging out with.
Okay, how many people were there?
5 of them, me make 6, so 6 total. My girlfriend's birthday was the following day, so we were gonna hang out throughout the night up until midnight.
What time had you gotten to your friend's house?
Roughly like 4 p.m., 5 p.m.
What time did you get there?
I got around 3 p.m.
Okay, now tell me what happened with the car.
We were all hanging out in her room at the place in Palmdale. My keys...
Your friend's room?
Yes, correct. My keys as well as wallet and phone were all on a desk. We're gonna head down to Canyon Country, Santa Clarita, and just before leaving, the defendant had punched me in my stomach and kicked me, ran off, stole the keys, and then...
Out of nowhere, she came and she punched you in the stomach and kicked you where?
Like, just somewhere like in the side. I was on a bed, and then she had hit me, and I turned over, and she had kicked me, and then ran off.
You mean from nothing? You didn't have any incident with her?
No, not at all.
So
she's rather physical and has been in previous... We've hung out before.
Physical how?
Just punching, hitting, pinching.
You're talking about playfully?
Not
because otherwise you wouldn't hang out with her.
I don't necessarily like to, but it's a friend group that everyone else I enjoy being around, so I kind of just sort of deal with it, if you will.
So now she's punched you in the side and kicked you.
Mm-hmm.
And then what?
She then proceeded to take my keys and run out of the house. By this time, 3 others were out of the bedroom and starting to get out of the house.
Just a second. So you were alone with her on the bed?
So we were all getting ready to leave. 3 people had already left the room. What was left in the room was me, my girlfriend, and the defendant. Mm-hmm. Then...
And where were you all?
I was on the bed, and my girlfriend was on the bed. She was standing just in front.
And?
And then she proceeded to hit me, kick me.
So what you're telling me is she leaned over, she punched you, and then got her foot up and kicked you someplace.
Yeah.
Got her foot up over the bed and kicked you.
It was like hip level.
I think I believe that. I don't. And then she took your keys and ran out of the house.
Correct, she ran out of the house.
Okay, now, tell me how you got the keys to the car.
He had them laying on the desk. We were all just messing around. I didn't hit him or kick him.
Would you just tell me, don't tell me what you didn't do. Tell me what you did.
I grabbed his keys and I went out of the house.
So when you say you grabbed his keys and went out of the house, you took the car without permission?
Yes, I did.
Why?
It was a sports car, so it was like I wanted like an experience of like driving it. It was supposed to be as a joke. I didn't mean it in a harmful way.
I don't think you meant it in a harmful way. But you took the car without permission.
Yes, and I apologized for it. And he said it was okay and forgave me.
When did you apologize?
Directly after I took his keys and took the car.
When you brought it back?
Yes.
Okay, so you didn't apologize before you took it. You took it and it was about what time?
9 p.m.
Okay, 9 p.m. and you've been hanging around for a while. So you've been hanging around since 3, so you were there between 5 and 6 hours.
Yes.
Anybody doing any drinking?
No.
Anybody doing any smoking?
Nicotine, yes.
Okay, but nothing other than that?
No.
Okay, so now it's 6 hours later, and you took the car. Where did you go with the car?
Up and down the street. I did not leave the neighborhood. I was out for maybe less than 2 minutes.
Did you hit anything when you traveled?
No, not at all.
Okay, and when you came back, he must have been annoyed.
Yes, he was.
Okay, so he's waiting for you outside.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Spencer, she took your keys. She acknowledges she took your keys without your permission. You went following outside after her, I assume.
By the time I was making it outside, she had started the car and started to back out.
Okay, so you were there, just a second, so you were there when she backed out of the driveway.
I was there as she had stopped getting out of the driveway and she was going forward.
She was in the process of taking your car, not returning it.
Correct.
In effect, she stole the keys to your car and your car.
Correct.
Okay, so now you're standing out in front of the house, in front of your friend's house, waiting for her to come back.
Correct.
How long were you standing there waiting for her to come back?
It was roughly...
Careful.
3 minutes.
3 minutes?
Correct.
So she didn't go very far.
No.
Now, did you see the car? It's not an answer.
Sorry.
You saw her pull away with the car.
For the first 200 feet, until she turned onto a new street.
200 feet you saw. And then you saw 200 feet when she was coming back, because she
Correct.
was out for 3 minutes, so you just stood there. So she didn't go, maybe she went around the block once.
Right.
Okay. And then she brought the car back. And what did she say when she got out of the car? She says she apologized to you.
Yeah, I was infuriated with the fact that she had taken the car because it wasn't the first time she had tried to do this. This was just the final time that she finally went through with it. And then when she had come, she had said, like, I'm sorry, this and that, because she could tell I was really mad. And at the time, I was just like, it's okay, because the next day was my girlfriend's birthday. I was trying to not keep the mood down and really just mellow, if you will.
Now, you said you were going to hang out someplace that day. Where were you going to hang out?
We didn't have any specific plans.
9 o'clock at night. Where did you go?
After that, we ended up driving down to Canyon Country.
Okay.
But my car
Just
didn't make it.
a second. You drove down to Canyon Country.
My car did not make it.
Now, a lot like Judge Judy, I actually don't believe the story that this girl kicked him and punched him and did all this stuff, stole his keys and went for a joyride. She just doesn't even look like the type of person that would do that. But she did in fact take the keys and stole the vehicle. And now that has me wondering how Judge Judy is going to rule on this, because if his car didn't make it when driving down to Santa Clarita, which is the city I was born in, I do wonder if it is her fault. Now, you could argue that because she stole the vehicle, you can't prove that it wasn't her fault, so therefore she has to be responsible for it. But in this case, I'm kind of like, why in the first place did you just randomly take someone's 100-something thousand mile Scion, which is not really a sports car, I'm sorry. It's kind of like a cheap high school version of a sports car. But who took, like, why would you take that car for a joyride for 3 minutes in a neighborhood? It just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand the situation. Maybe someone else in the comments can explain to me why it would be fun for someone to take the keys to a Scion TC. I don't understand that, but let's move on from that. But I want to know, do you think she's going to be responsible for this? Do you think she's going to have to pay for this? Or is this going to be all on the responsibility of the car owner, which he bought a car that probably had some issues? Let me know in the comments.
You got into your car with your girlfriend.
Correct.
And how far did you get?
A couple miles.
So you drove it a few miles.
Yeah, probably about 4.
Now, how long did it take you to drive the car these 4 miles? Did it take you 10 minutes?
I would say more like 5 to 6.
6 minutes and 4 miles. That's going pretty fast.
Correct.
How fast were you going?
I think it's 55 there. I was going 55.
Okay. So let's say you were doing 55 miles an hour. And then what happened?
That whole 6-minute drive, I could not get much power out of it. It wasn't working.
You were
right.
traveling 55 miles an hour. That's power.
Yeah, but it wasn't like, it wouldn't get there as quickly. It was having noticeable issues. There was sounds. I have a video of the sounds as well that was taken after that 6-minute drive. And it had started the second I got in the car and got worse and worse. That's why I pulled over, took the video, had all of that.
Okay.
And I had to get it towed.
And did you have it towed to his shop?
I took it to one shop first. It was a friend of my mother's. He gave us a quote for $7,200, and that was not in our budget. So then I ended up taking it to him.
Okay, and where did you find him?
This is my uncle, who also works for LA.
It's what?
He's my uncle.
He's your uncle.
Correct.
Stand up, sir. Is he your mother's brother?
No.
He's your father's brother.
Correct.
Okay. You have a shop, sir, or do you do this as a sideline?
I was a mechanic for 20 years, and now I'm...
That's not what I asked you. I asked you whether you have a shop, or is this a sideline?
Sure, I run a shop.
What kind of a shop?
The LAPD Central Division Police.
And what do you do for them?
I'm an automotive supervisor, so I supervise all the mechanics in charge of 1,300.
And did you, in fact, fix it?
I didn't do it personally. I diagnosed it and had one of my guys repair it. I didn't have the time to fix it.
You had one of the guys from LAPD do it?
Yes.
Where did he do it?
At his house.
How long did he have the car at his house?
About 2 weeks.
Did he present you a bill, or did he present your nephew with a bill?
Well, we bought the engine from an importer, and so with the bill, I just had him buy the engine from them, and then we just paid him.
Just a second. So you bought the engine secondhand?
Yes.
And how much did you pay for the engine?
45, 20, 25 cents.
And how much did you pay to put the engine in?
700. 500 of that was for the labor.
Okay. Now, you heard this, so you have a certain amount of expertise, I assume?
Yes.
Based upon what you told me. What was wrong with the engine?
It had a piston that had contacted a cylinder head and bent the valve, so it had low compression in one cylinder.
How does that happen?
Over revving the engine.
Over revving.
To put it in a drastic measure, if you're on the freeway going 70 and you're in fifth gear and you stick it in third gear, what's going to happen? Your RPMs shoot up and the engine has too many RPMs and it's not made to have that many RPMs. That's why there's a red line on your tachometer. You're not supposed to go over that. The mechanics can't function that and it over revs and it makes contact with each other.
When that happens to the engine, does the engine seize?
Well, it bent a valve, and so the valve just stays at the bad angle to where it can't seal the combustion chamber in the cylinder, and so that's one of the 4 cylinders doesn't make full power anymore.
But it has power.
You can drive it, it's still drivable, yes.
And it could go 4 miles.
You could probably drive it across the country, but yeah, you get poor gas mileage, check engine light would be on, and it'd be noisy.
Because it ultimately stopped, because your nephew drove the car about 4 miles at 55 miles an hour.
When I saw it, the car was still running, just making a horrible noise, and I don't know if it stopped on him or if he stopped it because of the noise.
Did you stop it because of the noise?
Yeah, I started to stop, and then as I was slowing down, I probably hit maybe 2 miles an hour, and as soon as all the lights came on the dash, and then it seized for the next 10 feet.
Okay. And Mr. Spencer, prior to the 28th of September, had you had any mechanical difficulty with the car?
Never.
You had never taken it to a mechanic or anything else?
No.
Okay.
It had no reason.
So the evening of this event was the first time you had heard this kind of a noise in the car?
Correct.
Didn't hear it when you got to your friend's house? Okay. Koya, is that how you pronounce
Yes.
your name? Miss Koya. So let me tell you this. This is the decision that I have to make. You can have a seat, sir. Thank you for your assistance. It is very hard, almost impossible, to say for certain that you caused damage to his car. I don't have to find that as a certainty that you caused damage to his car. I can look at circumstantial evidence. Now, if he had given you permission to take his car and you drove it, and 4 miles down the road when he's in the car starts to act up, I would have said, you know what? I really can't tell whose fault it was. He's traveling 55 miles an hour. You took the car because you've been hankering to take that car and have a test drive for a while, according to him, which I believe, because you stole the keys and stole the car. That's what you actually did. So it's a very easy decision for me.
Yes, but they did go to Ventura. They did drive that night to Ventura, and he was speeding that way. And
How do you know?
Because the way he drives. There's videos of how he drives.
Your problem is you stole his car.
Yeah, and he admitted into text that he was low on oil and the engine seized because he had no oil in it.
May I see the text that she's talking about? Who's...
A friend that was there with the group.
Well, you explained to what happened with the car. Now you can stand up, sir. You understand what I was telling her, that if I couldn't make a determination as to what caused this problem with the car, the fact that she took the car without permission makes my life easy. You would agree with that?
Yes.
But you would agree with the fact that if there was some other basis for the car to have malfunctioned, it wouldn't be her fault.
Yeah.
Could the car malfunction as a result of being low on oil?
There's millions of reasons a car could malfunction, yeah.
Was that, well,
That's
I'm
not
not talking
what
about
happened.
millions.
Yeah.
I'm talking the problem with the engine.
A lack of oil can't make the piston hit the valve, no.
Well, so let me read you what he said to his friend.
I had sent that text after the first mechanic had looked at it.
So, first you're right, every cop knows me now, so when they pull me over, they only give me speeding tickets of 60 miles an hour. What happened? So, it was low on oil, and the engine seized up. Ruined just about everything. It's beyond repair. In order to fix it, it needs a new engine, and then the labor and parts put in it, which is about $8,000 from what I've heard. Scrap yards only offer about $1,000 for the car. And he says, damn, I'm sorry. Does that sound familiar to you?
Sort of, yes.
Yeah. Do you know that when I am on a parkway and I see a moron like that weaving in between cars, all I say is, I hope they kill themselves alone and don't take anybody else with them. He shouldn't have a car.
Well, now things are heating up because now suddenly there's a chance that this guy, this Punk, to be honest with you, in my opinion, is responsible for why his car stopped working. Because if a car is low on oil, I'll tell you what, we've all been there. We get a car when we're maybe 16, 15, and no one shows us. No one tells us that we have to change the oil. So we just drive the car, and suddenly we're like, why is my car not working? Why is the engine exploding? Well, it's because you have to change your oil. And if the car was low on oil and he's speeding and revving the engine and going crazy, I'm going to tell you right now, 100% this is his fault. And that's where I stand on this right now. I think that actually he's trying to pass the blame on someone else because they took his car for a mini joyride for like 2-3 minutes. And suddenly that's what blew up his engine. Meanwhile, this guy, look at his hair. He's got the Justin Bieber haircut.
Hey, just working hard so I can please you.
He most likely is speeding in this vehicle. I'm telling you right now, he's most likely speeding in this vehicle, and he is most likely not taking care of it, and that is why his engine blew. So I have a feeling Judge Judy's going to get to the bottom of this, but we have footage coming up. We have footage about what happened and how he drives his vehicle, and then we're going to decide. So let's keep watching.
Why would you drive a car that was low on oil?
The first mechanic that had it looked at, that's what he said. But I drained the oil.
So it was low on oil and the engine seized up. That's what the first mechanic told you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that wouldn't be her fault,
Correct.
right?
However, it wasn't in need of any oil, and I check it on the first of every month.
Okay.
I had it serviced. Well, this was 4 months.
Do you
before-
understand? Do you understand what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying to you. You have any other texts for me to look at?
Yes, I have these two, and then the videos of him speeding.
He speeds, but I'll look at the video anyway because I like to look at pictures. It's.
And then I also have
Shh. I don't know what this has to do with anything.
that they were speeding on the way there.
Oh, so the drive from Starbucks to Chick-fil-A. You went to Chick-fil-A?
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are other names.
Yeah. Was supposed to be like 45 minutes. This is on September 15th. You following this, sir?
Yeah.
So the drive from Starbucks to Chick-fil-A was supposed to be like 45 minutes. We did it in 15.
It's impossible, but okay.
It's just him talking.
Yeah.
Cool. 109 miles for me the entire way.
That's my buddy's truck. We all rode in his truck, so that's him speeding. That's not me.
You rode in his truck.
Correct.
Just a minute. So when this is Every Cop Knows Me Now.
That was me. That was in my
Yeah,
car.
every cop knows me now. So when they pull me over, they only give me speeding tickets for 60.
It was a joke because I'd gotten a speeding ticket, my first one, a couple weeks before. I got it at 2 in the morning after a closing shift for 60 and a 45.
Now I'm going to take a look at the video. How did you get this video?
He sent it to the group chat.
He sent it to the group chat.
Yes.
What an idiot.
And there's multiple videos.
Oh, what an idiot.
It seems like they're all going about 50 miles an hour and it says 93. I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't
No,
speed
no,
or
no.
anything,
It
but
didn't
they
say
all have their
100
brake
and-
lights on. Semi-trucks can't go 93. He's going the same speed. So I don't know where that speed mile an hour is coming from.
He sent it on a
I
group
understand,
chat about his own
But
car.
common sense would say that truck isn't going 103 miles an hour.
What truck?
The semi-truck on the right of him that's going the same speed as him.
Are you making an excuse
I-
for that?
You can look at the
Yeah, just
video.
a
If you
second.
think that's accurate, then that's fine. But
I'm just looking at
I understand.
how he's going, weaving in between cars. You think that that's reasonable?
No.
Do you know that when I am on a parkway and I see a moron like that weaving in between cars, all I say is, I hope they kill themselves alone and don't take anybody else with them. He shouldn't have a car. He shouldn't be driving a car. You shouldn't be stealing the keys to a car. So it's going to cost you $7,000 or $6,000 to fix the car?
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
paid.
she's going to pay $1,000 for stealing it. You're going to pay the rest. Got it?
Got it.
Perfect. That's what happens. Because unfortunately, morons like you usually don't go alone. They usually take a family of 4 with them. So this one's going to cost you. You understand?
Yeah, I don't care.
You don't mind that, do you? Perfect.
Yeah.
Judgment for the plaintiff costs you $1,000 to take a joyride. We're done.
This court is adjourned.
I think it's unfair. She stole a car and broke it.
It was a good decision. I did apologize, and I accept I did what I did was wrong.
When the car broke down, the dashboard lit up like a Christmas tree. The sounds were loud and clanky.
He even drove to Ventura for 2 hours after that and was speeding the whole way there.
There's only the one video of me speeding, and it's inaccurate.
Like, I didn't think of it as stealing. I thought it was like a joke. I didn't really mean to like steal it or anything.
It's good, running, no problems, nothing. The mechanics did a great job fixing it.
Well, I'm obviously not gonna do it again.
Keep it under 50.
I thought it was ridiculous. It was funny to me.
I 100% agree with this judgment. I think it is the perfect justice for her to have to pay $1,000. That's just her punishment for stealing a car. You know, that's getting off easy if you ask me, but I think it's fair. In this case with this guy, I 100% believe that he is the one responsible for his vehicle. And that being said, let's just say he wasn't responsible. Judge Judy saw what he did. She saw it. She saw how he speeds. She saw how he drives with his little Justin Bieber haircut. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to actually punish you. Because you know what? When people drive like that, they put other people at risk. And that's the thing that's so wild to these young people who are driving their vehicles. And they're driving fast and they're like, I don't care if I go. I don't care if I crash my car. But they don't realize that you put so many other people's lives at risk. There's people with young children in their vehicle. There's people with, elderly in their vehicles, and, who knows? And all it takes is one mistake and you change the lives of so many people. And it makes no sense to drive that way. It literally, I see people who are speeding and weaving through cars and stuff, and they get ahead of me and whatever, and they go, and I'm driving the speed limit, driving normal, easy, because I don't like to spend that much money on gas. That's the big brain move, is you drive at the speed limit, you don't spend as much in gas. And then all of a sudden there's a stoplight, and I go right up next to the person that's been speeding and weaving and blowing their gas the whole time. So really, there's no point in driving that way. And it's so risky. It puts you at risk and it puts other people at risk. So I agree with Judge Judy. I think that it was perfect justice for her to force him to have to pay for it, because it's his responsibility, his lack of self-control, and his ability to put other people's lives at risk. I love the way this case went out, but I want to know what you guys think. Do you agree or do you disagree? Do you think that she should have had to pay for the whole damage to the vehicle, or is it fully his responsibility? Let me know in the comments down below.